you were doing because it's only end of May, like so that's a long time till a race. But yeah, that's a good idea.
Yeah.
So was that like a peak? Were you kind of just coming off a peak, say like did like get ready for a fight 10K and then drop back down for a little while?
Yeah, I mean, well, I'm kind of recreational about these things, and I only started running at about 40-ish
Yeah,
and didn't really get into it till about 5 years ago with any great consistency. And during the pandemic, I did a bunch of virtual races,
yeah,
but
yeah.
this 10K was my first in person with a big crowd. It was like 16,000 people.
Oh, class.
So it was a lot of fun. And then I thought, well, I would like to do another one of these, but I'd read somewhere that, when you're doing it more for fitness, it's good to keep changing up the distances. And
Yeah, it would be. Yeah,
I had done a couple of virtual half marathons and then the virtual 10Ks, a couple of those. So I thought, well, maybe I should try a five because I think sometimes like I'd like to get my running economy improved. And I
yeah,
sometimes hear that if
100%.
you do more speed work, that helps with that. Um, so I
Yeah,
was going to try that. Although I'm a little bit concerned, I'm starting to get heel pain, which was one of my other questions I wanted to ask you about. Because before I've always had the hamstring problem,
yeah.
but now the heels are starting to feel sore.
It's just in the morning or all the time, just when you're running.
Well, I don't notice it so much when I'm running, but maybe that's endorphins or something. But
Do you
I
notice
definitely
it when
feel it.
you're in the
Mhm.
morning?
Yeah,
Okay, yeah. So it
and kind of,
might be slightly. Do you have like a lacrosse ball
yes, I've been doing that.
and just roll in the
Mhm.
bottom of the foot?
Yeah, I've been using a golf ball for the foot, but I've
Don't
been
don't
using them.
don't use a
No,
golf ball. Use a cross ball. Golf ball is it's too small.
okay,
It puts too much pressure on it. So just use a lacrosse ball. I'd probably get those like just compression socks, the ones you could fly in as well.
okay,
Yeah. And then just looking over like I must send that survey out again, like just look over or just put in our group about that calf and plantar, plant I'll do
yeah,
up a little plantar video. Just that
okay,
single leg deadlift would be great again. I know it helps with the hamstring, but just to like really get the leg burning, do
yeah,
that barefoot.
yeah,
Do like, 6 by
yeah.
10 seconds, or even if you can do like 8 by 10 seconds would be great, just to where you want to get the kind of foot burning. And then that should start taking a bit of pressure off that. But yeah, then that's great. I think changing up the distances is a really good idea. And then that'll get the running economy better. But you could probably yeah, because you can see like when you're on holidays or when you're taking a break.
Oh, I leave in the middle of June, like in a couple of weeks, and I'm gone for 3 weeks.
Perfect.
And
Ah
then
yeah.
I'm kind of in and out a lot, like back and forth to the cottage kind of thing. Um, so I mean, I keep my running up. I, I still
Yeah,
run through
I
the.
would probably keep the running up. And if there was a race, like, it wouldn't have to be a big race. If there was just like a low key race somewhere, either a 5 or a 10K within the next 3 weeks,
Yeah.
I would do it just now because
Okay.
I think after that race will bring you on a lot, and 3 weeks would be a nice gap. So I'd have like an easy week this week, just some aerobic work, like just a little bit of threshold or kind of marathon pace stuff, nothing too taxing, and then 2 weeks of like that kind of specific either 5K or 10K work. Um, and
Yeah, my
then
race was my race was on the 14th of May. So I took 4 days off after that. And
brilliant.
then
Okay, yeah.
yeah, and then I did about sort of four easy runs sort of every other day for just 5Ks. And now I'm sort of just starting to start up again. I did a couple of easy, and then tomorrow I was going to do like a sprint workout. Like I have
Yeah.
a coach who helps me
Okay, brilliant. I was
uh
going to say I have
with
like
this.
different
Yeah.
things. Perfect. Yeah, yeah. Yeah, I think then like because if you're in good shape, I would I think I would definitely look for like I would do kind of 2 weeks, like nothing like the sprint work now doesn't when you say sprint work, what do you mean? What would the session or the workout be roughly?
Okay, so what she's got me doing is just a 20-minute warm up with some strides, and then what she calls a 10 meter, 20 meter, 30 meter thing where I start back 8 meters, I accelerate, then I run as fast as I can for 10 meters, then I walk back to the beginning, and then I do the same thing, but for 20 meters, walk back to the beginning, same thing for 30 meters, walk back to the beginning, rest 3 minutes, and do it all again. And then a 10 minute
I
cool
would
down.
do that. That's like a really proper sprinter session.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh God, here, let
Just
me have a look what I would do. We're yeah, it's not like look, and it'd be really good for just good fitness. So
yeah.
let me just I'll tell you what I would do just to know though.
Although I have to say, like yesterday, I don't know what's like this week, I don't know what was going on. I was feeling like my race went really well. I was feeling pretty good through all my easy 5Ks. And then just yesterday, I started feeling super tired and I couldn't keep my easy pace with my heart rate in the zone it normally stays in.
Yeah, drop it back though. I've had that.
Mm.
I've had that in the last couple of weeks. Like I ran like a good few races in a row, and I was feeling grand.
Yeah.
So just go to that like aerobic. Let me see, what week is this? Just want to see. I was just going 12. Sorry, this is a bit all over the place. Just want to see when I would best. Oh yeah, so that was May 15th. So this is the week of the race. I would probably do like something if it was me doing for a 10 for a even for a 5K, I would do like 2 by 5. Have you never got a lactic threshold test done or anything?
No, no,
The
I
good
based it. I created my zones based on I have a Garmin running watch
I know, yeah, they're
and
probably honestly all over the place. Look, if someone ever wants to get you like a present or get a present for yourself, they're actually just great to have. Um
yeah. Well,
I would
I don't take the VO2 max on the watch
no, no,
for
no.
anything real, but I did like the maximum observed heart rate I had over the last 5 years was 181. So I
Okay.
used a formula I found for kind of runners older than 50, and I used that formula and that maximum heart rate to create my zones.
Yeah, so what is your threshold? What's your threshold? How many zones did they give you? Four?
For five.
Five.
Um, yeah, let me just find what they are for you. Hold on. Uh, so okay, so my zone two heart rate 126 to 139.
Okay.
Okay. And yesterday I was like, I couldn't keep it below 140 half the time, even though I was running. Well, she increased my paces by 10 seconds after my race.
No,
But even
don't
that,
worry about on the like just go easier on those to chill.
yeah, so
This would be the
yeah,
session I would do, honestly. We were given like I'm going to get into this more anyway with the Pilates. I'll send the emails out, but just we were done one. So like 2 by 5 minutes at like zone 3. So what's your zone 3 say? I would go low zone 3 for you as well at the moment.
yeah, my zone three is 140 to 152.
So I would have it like at like 5 minutes at like 140, like 142, 145, like that type of thing with 2 minutes
Yeah,
off. So
right.
so you do a 10-minute warm up, then you do two of those with 2 minutes. Definitely don't go above 152. So like, but you want to go more the lower zone, especially if you're not feeling brilliant. Then I would
Right.
do like, I would off now because you've just done a 10K. So work out what like 55, like 55-minute pace is. I don't know what it is per K or per mile, but I would even if you didn't have it, just
Yeah.
you have it in your head of what that felt like. So and have it like how it felt at the start or the middle rather than when you were like pushing it at the end. And
Yep.
do that for like a minute on, minute off. Um um yeah, so it's 10K pace and then you could do a couple of strides afterwards. But yeah, that would be me now. That's what I do. And then the other session would be like very aerobic. It would be like depending on your volume, like you might want to start with like 3 or 4 of these. On a normal run, you just do 5K of a run, would you?
Lately, just post run, but normally it's 4 miles to, and my long runs were more like she got me as high as 8, but she's sort of dropping it back now. Like
Okay,
this
yeah.
is kind of a plan too.
So I would do right. I would do like say 10 minutes of a warm up, and then I would do like 3 by 6 minutes at that again, zone 3. with like 90
Okay.
seconds easy. So like 3 by 6 minutes. And then I do 10 minutes of cool down.
Okay.
They would be the two type of race runs. I look, maybe look each their own, and said if you're running PBs, that's great. So, but
Yeah. Yeah.
you'd
It's
be
just, and
surprised. Like it's just that's like that. Like yeah, it's just like it's they're like really fast sessions.
yeah,
But
she normally does like I do 4 a week, and
you do
normally
4 sessions a week.
well, 4 runs a week.
Oh, 4 runs. Yeah, sorry. Yeah,
Runs. So the first run is usually some kind of tempo-y kind of thing.
yeah,
The second one's always an easy run. Those are Monday, Tuesday. I get
yeah,
Wednesday off, and that's when I
yeah.
do my Pilates.
Brilliant.
And then Thursday she does the speedy kind of stuff, like this sprinty stuff.
Yeah.
Um, and then Friday I have off. Sometimes I do more Pilates, and then Saturday's my long run. Sunday's my rest day. And
Yeah,
before,
I literally just changed that speedy run to like that would be my type of speed. But look,
right.
it's not actually that's a nice one for like good general fitness.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah.
so I would probably dial in for that. Let me just see that I have one that was a little bit more. May 8th. Sorry, if you're racing in the following week. Oh yeah, they just did hills then. 5 minutes at like tempo, and then 6 by 45 second hill. And then like I would probably for you just do like 5 minutes at zone 3 again.
Right, okay. Because yeah, I mean, it was all going fine, and then I was just sort of surprised that after having like the kind of week off that I had after the race, where I didn't do much for 4 days, like just walks, and then I did, a week's worth of these small runs, short runs at easy pace. I was expecting to be like all bouncy
Flying.
this week.
Yeah, yeah. It can happen like that though. Sometimes when you've got ready for even though you're back, like, it's like the adrenaline is kind of gone.
Yeah,
So it can just take a while. I think the one big thing is not to push it though. Then it's just like
yeah,
to let the running come back.
yeah.
Like
I
that's
think
where I like
yeah,
the heart rate, or I wouldn't be doing anything on times. Even those sessions, if you're doing that sprint session, just do it on feel. You know, don't be trying to push that,
yeah.
and you'll
I
be
think maybe
surprised it'll come back quickly.
Yeah, I think maybe I went like my 4 runs that I did after the race. I think maybe I was doing them too fast because I was still feeling okay. So
Yeah,
I don't think I gave myself enough rest because now, like yesterday, honestly, I felt like my legs were just coming along. Like I was dragging them along with the
yeah,
rest of
yeah,
me.
yeah, 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 yeah. No,
And then I thought,
I
okay,
would
well, how
still
do you
do
do
the
it? Do you
runs.
need
I
to
would just
rest?
do them slower. No, I think
Yeah.
I would still do the runs. I would just do them slower.
Okay.
Um, just like listen to it, and you'd be surprised. Like in a week or so's time, it might come back right again.
Okay. Yeah,
Yeah,
because
and
as I say
then
too, after the race, she changed all my paces. She sped up all my paces based on my race performance. Because she gives me like target paces for all these things. Like I have an easy, target long run, target,
shouldn't have
so
any target easy.
she said
In my
afterwards,
opinion, I think
yeah,
I think just go easy when you're easy, and then as I said, changing your target changing your target ones based on that for your sessions, that's no problem. Yeah,
right.
that's good. But again, like do it. I would like do it off the heart rates, big time.
Yeah.
Like if
Yeah.
it's say it's like well I like even as ask her, it's like okay, like what pace would this meant to be? Is this like 10K pace? Is this like half marathon pace when I'm doing it? Like say for threshold, like that's if you're doing it even without a threshold test, that's zone 4.
Yeah.
So it doesn't matter what the pace is because this is where it comes in really, really. Do you have that expression really handy? Like,
Yeah. Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, perfect. Yeah, that's where it comes in really handy, where you know it deals with fluctuations. Yeah, so
Yeah.
then I would probably yeah I would still probably look for one maybe like a 5K in like just before your break. If there was one a week before or whatever, and then you can take your break because then you're going to have like 3 or 4 weeks of just easy running without sessions to build up. So
Right.
into June, July, yeah, September is actually a good time then to get back into it.
Right. Okay. What about
Great.
just running my own 5K by myself as fast as I can? If
Yeah, you
I
could
can't
try
find
that.
a
Yeah,
race.
yeah, if you couldn't try find a race, yeah, it could be a good idea. Just like a nice
Yeah.
little time trial.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah,
Okay. And
might
then,
even time
yeah, and
trial
then,
if you're doing that. Might even time trial like a 3K, just
yeah.
so because you could kind of probably extrapolate out into a race what you do on your own for 3K. You'd probably be able to hold that for 5K.
Okay. Yeah, because
Great,
then the
I've
other
enjoyed
thing
that.
I was sort of, yeah,
Go on,
the
sorry.
other thing I was just, oh, the other thing I was just wondering about was when, like, on a day where I'm feeling like my legs just aren't performing, like they're not feeling springy, they're not feeling that they're giving much power. How do you know if that is a rest, that you need more rest or that you need to do more strength training?
I wouldn't think it would be do more training. I wouldn't do any strength training on that, or so I'd either just hold what I was doing or I would take a rest. I would just think about the other signs, like, is there any like I get little tongue tags, or you might get like spots, or um has your sleep been disturbed, or is there any other like little signs? And if there were, then you could afford to like just drop it back even like 10-20% of what you were doing. So like say if you're still going out for um four runs, maybe for like the for that, if you're feeling crap on Monday and then still feeling poor on like Tuesday, say if you started out at Tuesday and you were meant to do 8K, just drop back to 5K and come in and see,
Okay.
does that help you kind of freshen up? But if there was, the other thing I do is like rest and heart rate.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I have
So,
one of those Aura rings. I don't know if
oh
you've
yeah,
heard of
perfect.
those.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. So my resting heart rate's been fine. It's sort of like it hits a low of around 43 and averages around 47 overnight. So it's
Ah,
pretty
yeah, brilliant.
reasonable.
Yeah, yeah.
But
Then I think it is like I wouldn't do more like strength training there. I wouldn't think. I just think that's it. I think there was a lot of there's a lot of adrenaline. It's a big race. You find that a lot of times the week after you're actually fine, and because you've got that like speed in your legs, and your coach has probably pushed things on because he's like, oh, you're fitter. You're actually like running. It's nearly like you've done a race plus like this week. So
yeah.
I think just go on heart rate. Um, don't like no session would should be like every session should be intentionally easy. You should always feel now, especially for the week coming, that like I had a workout today, and like I was meant to have a hard K at the end, and I just did
Mm.
like an easy 600 meters instead, because I was like, listen, my hamstring was a little bit tight for the last week. As I said, I was a bit run down, like I had spots here
Yeah.
and here, and
Mm.
so I just said to my coach, I was like, yeah, look, I think it's, and he said, yeah, look, fair enough, because there's no point like digging myself into a hole. I have a race in like 10 days again. So same thing with
Yeah.
you. I feel like you've ran a good PB. You've probably had a very good week, even just with easy runs of like feeling
Yeah.
good. So just go on the heart rate for that next 2 weeks, freshen
Okay.
up, and you'd be surprised how much like that will bring you on again.
Yeah. 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 Okay. Yeah. Because well, also the temperature suddenly just gone up a lot here too. So heat may have
Yeah,
something to do with it.
yeah, it can take a
Um,
while. It can just, it can sap you a little bit. So, no, I don't think like there's nothing you're saying that I'd be like, if I was coaching, I'd be worried about. It's
yeah. Just
just,
I'm mainly worried about my heels
yeah,
since
yeah,
that's a
yeah.
new problem.
Get the lacrosse ball, start just
Yeah.
like rolling those a lot, and do an additional, like even before you go out for a run, do that single leg deadlift and do it afterwards. Really get that foot burning.
Okay.
Have it
And
till
so
you
when you
can't
roll,
stand on that by
okay, I
the
roll
end.
it right on the heel as well, or
not
just
not not really, not where it should be painful, like just in the,
okay,
so say if like
the
on
arch.
the
Yeah.
planters, like here, if you were on it, it's like really sore, you're just
Yeah.
rolling up to here just before it, like you'll feel it where it's
Okay.
tight.
Okay.
Yeah, and just roll that and then get your compression socks.
Okay. And the calves, I guess, too,
Yeah, rolling
for
the
that.
calves would be great. Yeah, I bring the
Yeah.
lacrosse ball to bed and I'll just like put the ball in between the calf muscles, especially the lower ones down, and then put my other
Yeah.
foot, my other leg on top, and just like kind of rotate the ankle then.
Yeah. Yeah. I was
And then
doing
have a
that
look at
that
maybe
one.
even the shoes you're wearing. Sometimes just changing up the shoes again can just really help. Even if there's nothing wrong with them, I find sometimes it's just like it just changes how the foot is hitting it if it's just be going to a fresh pair of shoes.
Yeah. Oh, I've got three pairs, but two are the same type, but one is different. Like I have
Yeah.
a pair of speed work type shoes that are different than the other. The two are more like my long run type shoes, but I rotate them,
How
but it's the
long
same shoe.
how long have you had them?
One I've had for about 315 miles.
It's not
The
not a
other
lot, to be
one's
fair.
only 144 miles. So they're still pretty cushiony, those two, but they're the
Yeah,
same
that should
shoe.
be okay. Yeah.
Yeah. And around the house I'm barefoot. I do all my Pilates barefoot.
Yeah. Let's see
Mhm.
then. Let's just see. Maybe even going around the house, put on the shoes for a little while, just to put on
Okay.
your runners, just to see if
Yeah.
that takes pressure off it.
Okay.
Okay,
Okay.
great, Laurie. That was
Awesome.
brilliant.
Thank you so much, Owen.
Take
Okay.
care. Take care.
Yeah.